Hey, it's the Fields Bros. NBA Finals Game 2, Cavs Warriors. Jump right into it. So the Golden State Warriors win this game going away. Unfortunately, they win by double digits. Throughout this game, you never got the sense like you did in Game 1 where you felt like the Cavs were going to win the game. Uh, there were stretches in the game where the Cavs, hung around for a while. But, in the fourth quarter, it was a 6-point game, and then, Steph Curry started hitting three-pointers from everywhere, from every different angle. He set a finals record for three-pointers made. I think he made 9 3-pointers. And he actually even stayed in the game when it was a rout just so he could hit the record-breaking three-pointer. And then the Warriors intentionally fouled so they could take out their starters. So, yeah, a little bit of overkill by the Warriors. They're just trying to, just fucking rub it in, basically. But on the Cavaliers side, LeBron James, he had a solid game. 29 points, 13 assists, 9 rebounds, a rebound shy of a triple-double. He was 10 of 18 from the floor. So through 2 games in the finals, LeBron James is averaging exactly 40 points a game, 10.5 assists, and 8.5 rebounds. So he's averaging a 40-point double-double right now. In the finals through 2 games, and they're down 0-2. But the person I want to talk about is J.R. Smith. Everybody knows what happened Game 1, so we expected him to redeem himself Game 2, and to be honest, he played even worse. He was actually twice as good last game, as bad as he was, if that's even possible to be. He played even worse than he did in Game 1. Game 1, he was 3 of 10 from the floor. He managed to put up 10 points, and he had the terrible play at the end of the game. This game, Game 2, he makes even less field goals. He's 2 of 9 from the floor, so his percentage is basically the same, and he only had 5 points. So J.R. Smith, through 2 games in this finals, is averaging 7.5 points a game, and he's 5 of 19 from the floor. Kevin Love had an all right game. He had a double-double, and George Hill was solid. But beyond that, there was nothing else going for the Cavaliers. They couldn't make their three-point shots that were wide open. LeBron, he finds ways to create looks for these guys, and he gets them the ball, and they miss these wide open shots. And he went out of his way to try to get assisted three-point shots to try to get more points for his team. But like I said, you never got the sense that the Cavs were really going to win this game, even when they had cut it to 6. All those missed three-point shots that they left, if they had at least made, some of those shots, they might have been able to withstand the Steph Curry blow that they got in that, late in the game there. So, we're tied, or excuse me, in order for the Cavs to tie the series back up at 2, are they going to be able to go home and win both their home games in games 3 and 4? Despite losing the Game 1, that you should be tied going back to Cleveland 1-1 right now, but you're not. So I'm going to say I'm going down with the ship. I said the Cavaliers are going to win this goddamn series, and I'm sticking with that. The Cavaliers are a different basketball team at home. In the NBA Finals, when you're in your own gym, things are just different. So I expect the Cavaliers to win both these home games through hell or high water, and then we're going to turn this into a best-of-3 series, and then we start all over again, going back to Oracle for Game 5. But there's no fucking way that the Warriors are going to hoist the trophy on LeBron James' court. That just ain't going to happen. And if it does happen, LeBron James is definitely out of Cleveland. There's no way he's sticking around for that shit. But yeah, that's basically how I feel about this series. And I'll be honest, everything I just said is exactly what I said. That's how I feel. That's basically my emotional take on that. That's my rooting interest is obviously with the Cavs in this series. I don't care. I'll never cheer for the Golden State Warriors. This fucking team this overpowered team that's facing a one-man show. Like, man, but players aside, there's another thing I need to talk about. The officiating in this series it's not consistent. Um, there's so many calls that are subjective calls that the way the rules are constructed is that it allows for you to take a subjective call and definitively say it's either, like, for example, there's so many charge calls in this series, and like George Hill took a charge, and it was basically no different or than when LeBron took a charge, but they call a charge this time when we all know what happened last time. Or there's plays where a player will throw a full court pass, like, and for example, LeBron goes to catch it, and there's Warriors impeding his landing process while he's trying to go up and basically catch a pass, a full court pass. There's guys draped on him, and this LeBron's been getting hacked this whole series when he drives. Like, he should have had so many more free throw attempts tonight. LeBron should have at least had 10 more free throw attempts tonight in this game. And the biggest issue with a series where the officiating is so inconsistent is if you have refs that are going to be calling a bunch of fouls, and obviously the Warriors are basically the best freaking free throw shooting team possible. You have Steph Curry, who's the best in history at free throws. You have Durant and Thompson, who are, they both shoot, high 80s or 88+%, 90% free throw shooters. So when you consider that, and the Cavaliers are not a very good free throw shooting team, so the Warriors are going to benefit from, that. They're going to get so many extra trips at the line, like in game one when Durant got the charge call, or rather he got the blocking call in favor of LeBron James. And, obviously when Durant goes to the line, you can basically pencil him in. He shoots 90-something%. But yeah, I know some people would say, other people I'm sure would say, well, you could argue about, bad calls in any series, right? Well, the problem is the Cavaliers are already such huge underdogs that, having the refs, having the officiating be, inconsistent, and, that's just another hurdle that they have to go over. And really, when you're already a huge underdog to begin with, if the calls aren't going your way, on top of that, you basically have no shot, to win the series at all. So basically, to win a game, the picture I'm going to have to paint is you're going to need LeBron James to average, what he's averaging, freaking a 40+ point double-double. And you're going to have all the 50-50 calls basically go your way. You're going to have to get lucky bounces on loose balls and all the 50-50 plays. You're going to have shoot well above your normal free throw percentage. You're going to have the Warriors miss, some open shots to lower their percentage. Because in the fourth quarter tonight, late in the game, in order to put the Cavs away, basically every time the Warriors came down the court, it was either Steph shooting the ball, Klay Thompson, or Kevin Durant. So you're having, a great player basically attack you no matter what on every play. Where for the Cavs, it's just LeBron attacking. And then if it's not him, it's going to have to be a huge drop-off to, whoever else is out there. Kevin Love does what he can, but you can't, he's not 100%, you can tell. The Cavaliers bench is garbage. I'm pretty sure now this trade that they made at the deadline, like, they should have just tried to make it work out, clearly. These guys off the bench, Clarkson and, Nance is all right sometimes, but Clarkson and Rodney Hood especially, these guys are bunk. These guys are supposed to be, the Cavs needed some young guards, so they trade for some young guards, and they're terrible. And the guys they traded, look at D Wade, look how he played in the playoffs against Philadelphia. I guarantee you Wade wouldn't make that fucking play J.R. Smith made. Look at Jay Crowder, how he played for Utah in the postseason. The guy had, he was exceptional. He had like a 19-point quarter against OKC, for crying out loud. So that's what I'm talking about. That's all I'll say about this game. The Cavs got to find a way to win game 3. Obviously, they're underdogs, but, I'm going down with the ship. So let's go, Cavs.